and she's Alibi. Got the upper hand from Autumn Boy. Then Ninja, Attica, Rivellino from further back, but the filly pins the ears back. What a performance. She's Alibi. Different class in the Guineas.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. I've got John Walter with me. Moneybags Walter, I'm going to call you today.
Moneybags, yeah, Moneybags. Well, I was opinionated last week. I'm not this week, so
back in
see what happens. Yeah, back in my box.
Good stuff. There's a bit to talk about on today's show. Got a feeling.
I don't like it when you smile. When you smile, it's very bad for me.
Oh, there's been a fair bit happening. Nicko, how are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Finally got through the form at Caulfield and Rosehill and barely found a bet. So it's going to be an interesting show.
Oh, terrific. Up and about. All right, well, we might fluff out the start of the show with a bit of news, bit of politics, bit of results, bit of this, bit of that. Yeah, Walt did love last week's meeting, so it was good. It was good off the show's tips, and it was even better if you're a racingwatch.com.au subscriber. So make sure you check that out. If Walt lined your pockets, get around him in his chat. And tell you what, even a bloke named Billy's gone out and tipped American Wolf to win the Adelaide Cup. And not only did he do it, he did it on like the Thursday or the Friday.
Declared, get on.
Yeah, be on this thing.
Just keep betting or something. It was like, that was crazy. We were laughing like, yeah,
what's this guy?
Slugger. Next thing,
up it went.
Jet Stanley's doing the Rocky Balboa run up the middle of the straight after he's won it.
He seems like a good kid. He's got a good attitude. Good luck to him. Hopefully he makes it big time, and he's got a bit of momentum. What is it, Launceston Cup and now Adelaide. He's on a roll. Speaking of on a roll, big thanks to Ladbrokes and Punting Form as well for sponsoring the show. And ATC seem like they're on a roll as well. They defeated Racing New South Wales in court yesterday. Pretty popular win across social media. And the judge, Justice Kuntz. Kunk? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it was Kunc.
I don't know. He's my favourite judge anyway.
I got in trouble for saying Ten Tyrus wrong last week, and I'll probably just get in trouble for saying that judge's name incorrectly. But yeah, Kunc, it's a doozy. But he ruled that Racing New South Wales has no jurisdiction over them outside the running of its races. So that's going to put a cat amongst the pigeons, and whether PVL decides or Racing New South Wales decide to appeal is another story, or if they go higher up the ladder. But it seemed like another compelling win, and not surprising for a lot of people.
Well, if there was frivolous protest, they would have got that thrown on top of being awarded costs, I think.
And the other thing is, we just need to keep reminding people, the only reason that the ATC have to keep going cap in hand to Racing New South Wales is they've got a legacy deal with TAB about the allocation of funds. And so with the new growth of all the corporate dollar, that's where the extra money has been
and the shrinking
collected,
of the tab too, right?
And the shrinking of the tab. So the only reason they have to go cap in hand to New South Wales is to go collect the money that they've created anyway by conducting all these races. So the fact that they're saying that they're not viable and haven't got any money is complete ridiculous. And the good thing is they've misread the letter of the law here, and the regulator, Racing New South Wales, doesn't have the jurisdiction here. So it's great, and hopefully it's the shake-up that racing need, and there's just pressure from all angles. So watch that space. J-Mac, his Magic 6 was brilliant last week. Great ride. And the other Magical 6 that you could be confused about is the 6-day suspension. So I think the stewards are doing a great job in New South Wales on this point. And I think the AFL need to learn, because AFL are starting to suspend some of the best players in the game for frivolous things. And at least J-Mac can front up on Saturday. So missing Wednesday and Friday doesn't really hurt turnover. It hurts him a little bit in the back pocket, J-Mac, and it's a little smack, but it's smart business.
Depends how you look at it, isn't it? Like, I think he weighed in heavy and got beat a short half head and then protested, I think. So, a kilo, in excess of a kilo over, only 6 days, it's tough. That could have got months in other times or people or situations. And then, there are situations. Yeah, I don't know. It's a Pandora's box for me. I do think you want your best players, you want your best jockeys on the field and on big days, and maybe that should come into account. But it's starting to get a little bit silly that it's either 3 days, 4 days, 6 days, whatever they need to give them so that they can ride the Saturday. It's starting to look a bit. But yeah, I know where you're coming from. It's a tough one. Tough one.
The other one that we probably won't go into too much is there's Brace Sokolsky. He's rolling the army green silks with the Israeli flag lookalike image on the armbands, and that's been quickly kiboshed. So I think Racing Queensland might have allowed it, and then now Victoria and New South Wales have banned it. So a bit of mud in the waters there because the new rule came in last year to say that you couldn't have flag colours on the silks, which poses a new question. Are they going to start to ask China Horse Club, the Maccabi Diva Stakes, who have got the Croatian flag? There's a lot of colours that look very similar to flags. So be interested to see if the woke mob and the fun police come out and just start to heavy-handedly police jockey silks in that regard, because that's the last thing we need. It's a sport. We all love it, and we don't really need people sort of throwing rocks at each other and rubbing it in anyone's nose in political climate issues as well. So funny one, but that was a bit of a something that boiled over yesterday. Quick one for last week, a little bit of a pat on the back. Rain Cash, Tom Kitten, bless him, Nicko. Quickly, Pride of Jenny, would you think she's Gornsky?
Nah, I thought she, given the way the race worked out, they just went with her. It wasn't like she went slow out in front when you look at the data that came through. She went pretty quick. She went quicker than she did in the Empire Rose, which won by 10 or whatever it was. So I think it was more of just a case of they went with her. Where does she sort of head, though? That's probably the query. Maybe Australian Cup or Queen Elizabeth, that sort of race. But she's probably not gone, but I think she'd be like a $7 to $10 chance in a lot of races she runs in now, or off Saturday, I would have thought.
Now she can just be a pest at a big price, so further muddy the waters. But great ride, Craig Williams. Pinito Walt was great for you. Jolie Star was just too classy. She's an alibi. Nolan, I thought, was a carve job. Not many other riders would have got the job done, or not many other horses could have won, given the position that she was in. And that's the, I guess,
not
the
in
level.
The fashion she did anyway.
Yeah, and she just absolutely smashed him. But it was interesting. Peter Moody on his Moody on the Mic podcast, also sponsored by Ladbrokes, sort of said that you need to wake up yourself. And I thought the spray was elite, but I watched the tape a couple of times, and it looked like a set play from the Moody camp that they only went out there with one set instructions to say, let's just follow Autumn Boy and we'll out sprint it, which they were proven correct, but.
Yeah, I didn't see it that way. I thought J-Mac went out, and I thought Luke thought he was going to land 1-1, and J-Mac got under his neck and he absolutely shit the bed, and then he was just absolutely blessed that Hippo went to the fence. Otherwise, he sits 3 wide the trip, and it probably still wins because she's far lap. But yeah, I don't know. I think after the ball, it was easy to have one plan.
Yeah, I just ran some puntingform.com.au stats, and this is right in Nicko's wheelhouse, and you can add further commentary because these are more Melbourne riders. Obviously, John and I are a bit northern states now. I'm a bit Queensland, New South Wales focused and sort of dabble in Victoria when I have to. But Nicko, I'm just looking at punting form, and it says that there's 2 operators that Moody goes to, and I just sort of scratch my head. Luke Nolan, well, let's talk about him first. He goes at 14% lifetime. He's only going at 8% now, so he's down 6% lifetime in his last 50 rides. So,
well, he's down 50% basically, or 40% on his normal average.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I guess, which is similar figures, Zach Spain, I think he's about 9% or the high 8s, and he's going at about 4%. So he's down 5%, but 50% in real terms. So they're pretty.
And I'm assuming the strike rate with Moody's much higher, which drags that up too, right?
Yeah. So he's throwing them a bone.
He is, and there's no worries. But it was sort of pre-race. It's not as if it was after the race we were talking about it. The main worry was
pre-race.
Was the and he just didn't look comfortable to me. And everyone's got their own opinion. He's more than entitled to his, and good on him. But we'll never agree on what we saw.
Make the world go round opinions. Nicko, any thoughts, or do you want to dive into any of that commentary?
Yeah, like Wald said, they probably have a lot better strike rate when they combine with Moody. It's tough in Melbourne at the moment. We got Ma that sort of have all the numbers, and then a lot of the trainers sort of at Cranbourne. It's sort of everyone sort of has their riders, and if you're not really in there, well, you've got your stable like sort of Nolan and Spain with Moody, and then they're probably riding 20s and 30s chances for everyone else. So it is tough, and I think that is reflective in a lot of the stats. And we got a lot of younger riders coming through, like Lockie Neindorf's Airborne, jockeys like Stackhouse and Mott, they just ride everywhere. So it's not like you can really just go out the bush and get a few home. They just ride absolutely everywhere. They're good jockeys. So it's a very different sort of landscape to Sydney, but I think sometimes you can look into those stats too much with the jockeys, and it's more how they're riding relative to their sort of SP, I would have thought. And Zach Spain's been riding plenty of winners for Moody, but his other rides, he's probably riding a bunch of roughies.
I was having a chat to a Sydney trainer yesterday at the sales, and he was surprised, a bit like me, that because it is so competitive there, like you say, across the board, it's probably, you'd argue, maybe a little bit higher level, but a lot more of them. And then maybe Sydney's got a couple of standouts or whatever, or a few that are, solid, and then it drops off. That at the very least, a few lightweight Melbourne riders haven't had a crack at Sydney, because there does seem to be a few lightweight options there that get a lot of rides just because they're light, and they don't have maybe the same ability level as a few of the Melbourne guys. So they might be successful, but it doesn't seem to be many actually come up at all. I can't remember, was the last one that came up from Melbourne and had a try. Like, they fly in, fly out, Ethan Brown and whatever, and
dominates, my man.
Who?
Ethan Brown.
Yeah, but they don't hang around, do they? So I'm surprised that a few lightweight riders, like natural 53 riders, haven't come up.
Reggie Games, he gave that a good ride at Canberra, the Canberra Cup.
I tell you, I haven't had more people tell me a horse should have won than that for a long, long, long time. And the worst part is it'll probably cop 10 ratings points or something crazy.
Oh my god!
And for the pleasure.
Yeah, it'd be something beating the Albury Cup. If you like watching films and horror films, go watch Games in the Canberra Cup. It went off at 30, so terrific stuff. That hopefully they get a new rider. Shout out to our good old mate Mitchell Beer. So we're upsetting a few trainers today. It's going to be hate mail, and our comments are going to be scathing. Get through some of the winners. We're still going. Bagman Mathematician, scratch from last Saturday, but gee, trotted up and won like a good horse on Monday, Adelaide Cup Day. We killed a few last week. Raging Force went a miss. Tentaris had cardiac arrhythmia. He'll bounce back. And I think Antino and Angel Capital could be in the sin bin. And I did a lot of deleting out of my black book in the last 7 days. So nice little purge at this time of the year.
Anything that sat on that fence and didn't perform on Saturday, it would be easy to remove.
Bin. Yeah. Make sure you check out Little Birdie TV tips page. So I update that on Thursday Arvo, or at worst, if I've got children problem, I update it Friday morning. Donnie tip 2, Celestial Blaze and Last Command. It's got all the links to everyone's Twitter handles. So if you want more action from Nicko or anyone, just head to the Little Birdie TV tips page, and then you can go and terrorise everyone on Twitter, which is good. Hosted pot on Saturday. You can terrorise me. I'll be in the Mates Mode chat room. I'll be sharing and using insights from these guys' tips, and I'll be betting from midday all day till about 6 o'clock at night. So I think we're 5 in a row from the pot. So we're completely airborne at the moment, and hopefully we can get the job done on Saturday. But I'm a bit nervous after hearing you boys saying how average
and what
it
you
is.
just said right then. Oh my god!
But I'll be locked in the dungeon. I might do some panic buying with a fuel crisis. Otherwise, I'll be doing form until midday on Saturday. So I'm excited about Gold Coast at least, and I'll do my best to get a return. So hosted pot, Ladbrokes. Download the app, get there. I'll be there. Clear weather, Melbourne, Sydney, Gold Coast, and Adelaide. And let's get stuck into the show. Nicko, you've got the VOBIS Platinum Showdown, the Peter Young. Walt, you got the Pago, the Maurice, McCarten, the Coolmore. I've got the 2-year-old Jewel at the Gold Coast, so they got their standalone meeting, and then the Open Handicap. And Bagman, he's still hurting after his horse, Uptown Monk, pulled its absolute ring out on Cup Day, and it's in the naughty quarter now. So back to the drawing board for him, but he's got 2 for us at the Parks track. The first one is race 2, number 5, Sir Micah. That one's 340 at Ladbrokes. I haven't had time to get through the races completely, but it's last start, and it's last 3 starts all look huge. Looking at puntingform.com.au data, and there's a nice little one there to Rameses, which we all backed last start. It was huge on debut over 1,000. It got the job done over 1250 and ran pretty good time last start as well. So step up to 1,400 after those 2 runs in the bank. I'm tipping it'll take some beating as well. So still firing out plenty of good bullets in Adelaide, our man Shane Adair. So good luck to anyone that follows him. I know it's starting to get a pretty good little army of support as well. Caulfield, Nicko, let's get stuck into race 7. This is a doozy. It's a $1 million race, and the favourite here is Miss Chanel. Gabot horse coming down $3.20, Phillip Island $5, Big Wigs $5.50, Milson's point $7.50, Laganini $9, Valoroso $10, Nerl is $13, the Troubleshooter $21, Jurama 26 in from 50s, Lomu 61, Tagabella $61, and then you got Golden Trove. The first one, Nicko, is Lagananini, and it's in the lime here on the fence.
Yeah, so this will say officially that it was a heavy 9 track, and some of the data that I used said it was a good 3. So I don't think we've got to read too much into the overall rating there. It was pretty well backed here. Sort of went forward, come home in some quick closing splits. It's good margins. Just seemed to find the line. My queries in her jump outs leading into this run was maybe that she was a little bit squibby. Like she didn't really look like a filly with a whole lot of scope to get out of further, but I think I got that wrong. And I think she's probably looking for 1,200 off what we saw there. So drawn 1. The VOBIS Day, if you're not aware of it, they're all restricted races. So you have to be, I think, bred in Victoria to run in a lot of these races, and then they pay up as a yearling to get the VOBIS scheme. So that's why they probably lack a bit of quality compared to other weeks, because you're probably dealing with a lesser stock of horse. But I thought she could run well from an inside draw in what looks an even race. And then the other horse I thought could run an improved race, just brings in complete different form line, was this Blue Jacket. Jurama, is it? The winner of this race has since won again at Warwick Farm, I think it was. She's Extra, and she absolutely killed them. This was 900 metres. Now he gets up to 1,200 metres, and this is probably just like a trial for him. He just sort of whacks away a little bit here, but he comes away from the rest of them here late and is really strong through the line. So I think up in distance, 1,200, right stable, Anthony and Sam Freedman. Probably a bit of a target race for this horse. He's drawn well. You get Jay Mott, who's a really good rider of these young horses. I just thought, given, a few of these are off maidens, Milson's points coming back off the Blue Diamond where he pulled up lame. Miss Chanel's had a fair few cracks without winning. Quick backup probably looks suited for her. Bit of a target race for her as well. But I just thought he could be a rapid improver in what's not really like an overly strong race usually. So I was happy to have something on him 1 by 3, and I think they might find Luganani. I reckon the market might come for her. So happy to play those two at a bit of odds.
John Walter, what say you? Two nice little finds here, I think, Nicko. But let's talk about the Waterhouse Bot horse as a starting point, because it's got a stranglehold at 320 at Ladbrokes.
Yeah, and 5th run first prep. And I remember watching it last week going, "Ooh, she looks like maybe the tank's empty." And I remember, and then my response to that was, yeah, backing up 7 days in Melbourne. I was like, oh my God. So I was thinking more a bit along the lines of horses that were trying to stretch themselves to the slipper. So obviously this is a lot softer. Real tough horse, just doesn't know when to give in, but I don't think it's the most gifted. But, probably if it rolled to the front, it's going to be thereabouts, It's just not a horse I'd want to really find, but certainly can win. I spent a lot of time on that Jurama race. It was a very bad race. Obviously, apart from the winner, none of them looked like 900-metre horses. They all looked like they wanted 1,100 metres. And obviously, the winner's a little bit sharper and a little bit smarter than what I thought. Did find the right part last up. It did smash them, and it was a much stronger race, like what Nicko was saying. So, yeah, I'm definitely not knocking 26 Jurama and out to 1,200. I normally would hate that 9 to 12, but this horse, again, like Nicko said, that was a bit of a barrier trial, really. It was never going to be suited there. And I see this horse in Sydney too. I don't know if it's come out yet, Laguna Nanini. But I couldn't knock it. Just didn't look like the slow tempo really suited on debut. So, yeah, plenty of upside. I got no real opinion on the race, but I can't poke holes in Jurama.
I did this race yesterday because of the show, and Lugana Nini was the horse that I found, and I didn't bet. And then as soon as Nicko found it, I started to get very excited again. So I think the $9 is just crazy odds, this horse. And the dual nomination with the Magic Knight, I think that just signals that they've got a fair rap on this horse. And it is mind-bending to figure out what the track was if the official rating is 8 and then other databases have, say, got it as a 4. So let's split the difference and call it maybe a 5.5 or a 6. And I thought that was a pretty tough effort. And I'd guess that a couple of those horses behind it, I think Moody had one and another pretty strong stable. A few might have gone there to go for a bit of a kill, because this Lugana Nini, it had been trialling around some good horses, Nicko. Decent sort of like jump out horses. And I think it's got a fair bit of strength, this horse.
Yeah, I'm sort of filthy. I just didn't back it on debut. Like I said, I just got it wrong in the end. But I think that's probably right. Like when you look back through the jump out form. So She went up $4 some places, and now she's $9. I think that's probably an overreaction. But yeah, once the meeting went on, they ended up on a 6. But yeah, there was no way it was a 9 early. I thought Big Wigs was good last start behind Medicinal. He should be getting back and hitting the line, but went through the last sort of 3 meetings, rail out 9 metres at Caulfield, and they've all been wet, which is interesting, but been hard to make ground, especially in the circle races. The shoot's been okay, but the circle's been like, you've got to be in the first 4. So that will probably have a big impact on Saturday again, I would have thought.
Yeah, only little, like, it would have been hard to back on debut that stable for me with bandages on. And then I see they stay on, and maybe the sting out might have helped it there. You know, that was a little bit scary. But surely if it's nommed in Sydney and whatever, it's not showing any signs of issues, you wouldn't think. But it was just a little bit scary for me, especially if it went onto a firmer track.
Yeah, Big Wig's interesting. Blinkers go on and sort of might need him. Just hasn't. It'd be interesting to see. Surely there's a little bit more pressure, but can't knock the Stokes yard. They're absolutely flying at the moment. Humming. All right, good. We're in agreement, and I think it's a big price. And that's a weird thing. Like I saw it open $4, and I'm thinking, what's happened to this horse? Like, why has it drifted so severely? I think it should be closer to that price. So fascinating to see who's right and who's wrong. But I think it's an auto bet job and a great bet each way, $9. So we'll be going down with the ship together, Nicko. I love it. Caulfield Race 8 is the feature there. It's the Peter Young Stakes. It's an 1,800 metre race, and Buckaroo's the favourite. Bit of a query here because he had an infection, got scratched, had mucus, $3.20 favourite. So he missed the All-Star Mile, had the good form around Tom Kitten. So it's there, it's stacked up, it's been franked. And then you got Birdman here at $3.20, Light Infantry Man at $4. You got a Poolie, $6.50, Chief Little Rock, $8.50, Whiskey on the Hill is $26. Then you got Banker's Choice, $61, and you got Baz Linner at $67, probably warming up for something a little bit longer. The replays we're going to have a look is, the first one is Light Infantry Man, Carline Stakes, off the canvas, Nicko.
Yeah, he was, and he likes fast tempos, this horse. So when Regal Zeus sort of took off, he was coming back off running, second in a Zipping Classic. Like he didn't have to sprint at that stage, but he showed probably he was the best stayer in this field, and that's when we've seen him at his best. Now, this race he settles second. So I've already bombed the start in the Champion Stakes. He's pretty much led all of his other recent races and sitting second there to Regal Zeus. So I would imagine he finds the lead here, and the key to the race will be how fast he goes, because if Harry Coffey thinks, fast tempo last start, this horse is best when he can get into those high pressure races like we saw in an Australian Cup when he won it. If he goes fast, and I think he really exposes probably Buckaroo, who doesn't really have the best platform, 14 up to 1,800 in a fast run race. Then if they go slow, I think it's just advantage Birdman, who's coming out of the slow run 14 and 1,600 metre races, and he's out sprinted, pretty handy horses in this field. And Zudo sort of probably didn't bat all that deep in terms of mile horses, like Apulia was looking for further, but the way he put him away it was an outstanding win. The clock's backed him up. I think he's come back a better horse. Every time I see him in the yard, I'm just so taken by how he's looked in terms of his health, like in terms of his skin and his coat. Like he's just looked exceptional, and he hasn't been fully fit. Like I think third up, fourth up's where we're going to see him be at his top from a fitness point of view. So yeah, the race is tricky for mine. I think Buckaroo is a bit of a hole either way. I think if they go slow, Birdman may outsprint him off a better platform, and if they go fast, then he's probably left a little bit wanting. So he'd probably be the risk, but it's all up to what Light Infantry Man does, and that'll be the key to the race.
John Walter.
Yeah, I think you got to go looking for an angle, haven't you? And if you're not penning Buckaroo, but looking around him simply because of that, the setup change and the slight issues. So about inside draw, I think is great for him either. Light Infantry Man, that run first up would kill a brown dog. Like unless he's been sitting in the chamber for the last bloody however long. Struggled to come into him at a similar price. Apulia was good again the other day, but super honest. But I think I'm sort of finding the same angle as Nicko, that no matter what happens, fast, slow, the way this horse is going, Birdman absolutely ideally set up, just seems to be more genuine this time in, and looks like the one to beat. I don't know what to do with this Chief Little Rock off 600 days or something like that. It's obviously a little bit of a query too, but not a race I love. But the more you look at it, to me, the more the only horse you could possibly back is Coco Beware, the Birdman.
Yeah, I think it's a group cheer here. Birdman's the obvious one for me. Don't like Buckaroo off the setback, but I will have a bit of an asterisk. So I don't do well in this race for some sort of reason. I think the last winner I backed in this race was Cascadian, I think, in about 2022. So I'm a bit of a mock, but I think Birdman's absolutely flying, and he's always been a little bit one of mine. I think they're just training him a little bit different, shorter distances, and he's got that killer punch.
With the Peter Young, this is the first time it's been run. It used to always be run on Blue Diamond Day, and now they've moved it because the Australian Cup's gone back. So it used to be like you'd sort of hit it second up, whereas, well, I suppose a few of them have here, but you have a few more with runs under the belt. But it is the key lead up to the Australian Cup, so sometimes you get a slow tempo and weird result. But outside of that, on Saturday, I thought there was a few. I was keen on one in Adelaide, actually. Race 7, number 5, No Rumours. I backed him in the Launceston Cup, and he went via bloody Hobart there on a day he had to be inside.
Ooh.
If he's come through that run well, I think he'll be winning. 3:30?
3:30 in Ladbrokes, yeah.
One down in Tassie, race 1, number 4, Friday night. I think he'll be winning unfiltered. So we haven't offered much for the Caulfield set, but there's a little bit out wide for the punters.
I should have done Musselbrook before I come here. Jesus.
It's thrown me off. So the race 7, number 5 is No Rumours. And then that's on Saturday at MOPHETTVILLE. And then what's the other one? Friday night race.
Friday night, race 1, number 4, unfiltered. I think he'll be winning.
Get the money early, build the bank. Beautiful. Nice couple of little curveballs. We like them.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know. I like throwing them, not at receiving them usually.
Racing.com, I got you this week, or you back on the Patreon?
No, back for the Patreon. So, yep, hopefully we can. I think it is a bit of a yard day. Like you got a fair few quality horses that have got to carry weight there on Saturday, but they might just completely stand out. So not getting too involved early, but I think it is a real yard day. Check the conditions, rail out 9. It's probably a bit of a day you got to adapt on the fly by the looks of things.
Get around at Nicko's yard. I absolutely love it. 3 to 5 minutes before the off, so he'll give you a staking plan and top 4 picks and then some comments around it. So very, very handy information. And the best part is when a favourite's off, Nicko knows, so he lets you know, which is good to be in the know. You know?
You know, we all know. What do you know? What do I know? Not much. We're about to find out what I know. It's not going to help many people, but let's get into it.
Let's get into Rosehill. It's the race 4. It's the Pago. Clear weather everywhere, so tracks should play absolutely beautifully. Central Europe's been the go here, 280 into 240. Not really. Warwoven 270, Plagiarism $8, Star of Jamaica 14, High Alert 19, Euripides $21, Drumfire 23, and Better Though a Rest. Let's watch these two. Warwoven was off the scene for a while, back on the fence, and then Central Europe's just getting ping-ponged inside the China Horse Club colours, China flag colours. That's in the black and the green. Well,
yeah, so probably the first half of this was important. They went quick. Warwoven sort of missed a start, slipped, and then Rachel drove it, and then sort of it got keen and then stuck behind the leader and back towards the inside was a gap between runs. So it could improve, and obviously the horse down the outside, Central Europe, was on debut, and a bit of a weird ride, sort of got stuck in, and I don't know where he was trying to go, got to the outside, and, for my pocket, it was a good result for the bloke next to me who's shaking his head and looks like he wants to jump in the river. Not so good, but definitely should have won there. Yeah, that's the only replay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, I got to be careful here because I've obviously got, what do we call it, a bias. Got to be careful with the opinions because I always assume that a horse like Warwoven's going to be set a task. Which race are we doing? I've printed out the wrong race here, Nick.
Pago, race 4, brother.
The wrong race, yeah, but there's not much to talk about.
Rachel King, barrier 10. Where's she?
Yeah, I know. She's probably going to get. It's probably going to get set a task again. He definitely got upside, and so is the other horse. And we're getting 6-4. Take your pick. So to me, I just sort of bounce between the two. Which horse would you rather own? I couldn't even answer that question. They've both got upside. I think Warwoven's a better horse than Paradoxium last week, but Paradoxium won well, but it didn't do a lot either. So, I don't know. I really hope that Central Europe comes out and smashes them and then backs up next week because I think it's a much more exciting sort of prospect in doing that, whereas Warwoven's kind of here because I think they sort of don't think they're going to get a start and they kind of have to run. So, there's no real answer there. And then going wider, I couldn't find anything that can improve or looks like anything exciting at all, which is not just sad for this race, but sad for the slipper next week, which looks a bit hollow. I'm a bit depressed sitting on the fence. I wouldn't be scared to go either way, but definitely the rider switch for Central Europe, J-Mac going on. He's definitely, whether you think he's a great rider or not at the best of times, he's definitely riding with his flag flying high at the moment, isn't he? And
full mast.
He is, and it makes such a big difference on these 2-year-olds. If there's a misstep on War Woven, J-Mac will be, on the back of the right horse and getting to the outside and strong late. So, gun to my head, it's definitely going to be Central Europe.
Barrier draws just worked out perfectly. All the speed influence. You got, War Woven's going to have to make a decision. You got Star of Jamaica going to kick up, and you can just see J-Mac
Plagiarism's going to be there.
Second or third pair. The faster they go, I think the better for Central Europe. He looks to my eye like a horse that loves big tempo and can sprint off it. I think he's a jet. I've stopped kicking stones, but I think he can atone, and then he can get into the slip.
Price is the only thing you're worried about, isn't it? Exactly. Like compared to you getting 10-1 last start.
Yeah.
Similar race, but you can't have it all.
Can't, Nicko. Nicko, what do you think of these 2-year-olds?
Yeah, I really liked Central Europe on debut. I didn't end up backing him, actually. I didn't bet into the race, but I was the other side. I was sort of happy I didn't because the way the race worked out. But gee, he's got some talent, doesn't he? My worry is 1,200 metres Rosehill. Like, he looks like a 1,600 metre. Like, he looks like the size Champagne horse to me more than the Slipper horse and War Woven. I don't know. Like, he's won 150,000. Like, I think he would get in to the Slipper.
A couple have fallen away in the last sort of 24 hours. I wonder if there's still not more to come there. Will they run if it looks like it's going to get a run? That's probably an interesting thought.
Yeah, and is he sort of off that run? Do they think maybe he's half a run short? We're better just backing him up and that's the grand final, not pushing on after that? I don't know. I think there is a bit more to play out there. I thought High Alert didn't have much chance in the lead up there, but he was good late. Drawn 7. He might be the one at sort of 20s. It's a bit of a knockout from the same form line, but yeah, looks a race where I think there's a bit more to play out with War Woven.
Fascinating race. It really sets up for a beauty tactically. So good luck, Rachel. Good luck, J-Mac, and all the connections.
There's the old sicko omen thing there too. Old Jay Collett, whether you say that he rode Central Europe, didn't he, last start?
Yeah.
He was unlucky, and then he jumps on High Alert.
One of ours. One of our old horses.
He jumps off the J-Mac jumps on and Collett comes and spoils the party. We've seen that 1,000 times.
Based off what we've seen, I just don't think either have got the class of War Woven. I saw War Woven in the flesh up at Eagle Farm. He was imposing that day.
Yeah,
and he smashed him, and he looked like he had more improvement. So he's a horse that looks like he just eats work, War Woven. So if he does run, I think he'll back up a week later. And yeah, Central Europe looks like a bit of a freak to me. So good luck beating either of them. Don't know how we make money out of the race, though. Rosehill race 6 is the Toyota Forklifts. It's Bjorn's race. It's the Maurice McCarten. It's a Group 3. It's 1,100 metres. Kerguelen was a big winner first up, 550. King Secret, 550. Tonkin, 550. Malcoupe was, it's building a picket fence, 750. Lafracus, $8. Flying for Fun is fresh here, $9. Enrich, 10. Don't Hope Do, $10. John gave me no replay, so I'm just going to freestyle here. And the first replay is Enriched. And I thought,
you just love this horse.
This is Axius in the white with the red, just getting pinballed, which was tough work to see. And then you got King of Russo, had a bit of residual fitness, zooming down the outside and just picked off Enriched, who's in the blue with the yellow and the white cap. And then you've got, was that Militarized back on the fence?
Poking up the fence, yeah.
Never really shirt the task in Rich, just sort of, those runners had the drop on him and knocked him off there. But I thought he's sort of back. Like, it was a lot of real you're back in Rich run. And I thought he was probably a good value starting point up at the top of the market at $10. And then one of ours or one of yours or it's Bryce's horse, Flying for Fun. I thought this trial was pretty good too. It's the chestnuts in behind. Bryce's famous colours, the blue with the yellow and a bit of orange. And
you struck out with the first ball, Nick, but you've hit a potential home run with the second one.
What's that?
Well, I only had 2 pens through horses in Rich was one of them, but this is the horse that I like.
Look at go.
Look, and yeah, last prep obviously finished off with a really strong, well back win. I think it was at first up at Warwick Farm last time. It was you've never seen a worse ride in the history of mankind. You couldn't run on that day, and it made up about 15 lengths and come down the outside. And remember, even at the start, this horse used to be a free going front runner. Like it was, it's just got that much ability. You're just going to have to
hold on to him,
full blooded cupboard, not even just seal it up, maybe even a bit of silicone because Gate 1 is not going to be a fun watch.
No.
But if it gets the gap that it got there, like in that, I can't, I'm not saying it's unbeatable, but geez, it's close.
Oh, Bryce.
Well, it's 101 chance or an even money chance. And the problem is that other horse that he's got with that big bugger, what's it called? You know, the thing that's, he's gone up the fence twice on Zach.
Oh, the real good one.
Yeah,
Like
but
the
it's twice the size of this thing. You know, I don't know if he's
God.
going to be able to create the gap and knock the running rail out of the ray if he has to here. But yeah, it's a decent race, but sort of going top to bottom. I thought Enriched Back in Distance was why I didn't like it. Yeah, it was definitely like Blinkers had a trial and it had a nice run there. I just think back to 1100s. Vulnerable. Kerguelen was huge, regardless of the great ride first up, but it's going to have the same task. Draw 9. I can't have it 550. I thought King's Secret's trials were only fair. I thought it sort of improves with the run. It's a bit like Beedman last week. It's going to get the best run you've ever seen, but not the horse I want to find. And Randy aboard Lafracus to me looks like it's going to be a 1,1400 metre horse in time. I know it's got a good record and he's a real strong closer, but similar. Like I think Enriched, Kerguelen, Lafracus are sort of going to be running on, get beat two or three lengths and be good efforts. Don't Hope Do comes through the whole race, was okay in the Oakley Plate. It was a weird run there, sort of.
It's a good horse, I
led,
think.
then got taken on, then dropped out, and then came again. It was very weird. And those sort of runs, if it gets left alone in front, which I don't think it will.
No, too much speed on.
It can run well. Mal Coupe's airborne and right on the up. But what do you? And I'm a huge Winona fan, so please don't take this as a bagging.
God.
But what do you do, J-Mac to Winona? It's a big change, up in grade. But it is $9, so I don't want to be too far against it. I think the horse is just going too well to not run well. Tonkin was good first up, draws outside the speed here, so Tim will probably try and drop in behind them, and if not, sit outside the leader if they all want to grab hold or even go to the front. It'll run well as well, but I think they're all at the mercy of this horse if it gets out. I just see it as being a real 1,100 metre sit sprinter. And
Pressure cooker.
Yeah, whilst we're saying Gate 1's, or whilst I'm saying Gate 1's a cupboard job for this horse, I'd rather it draw 1 than 10 because if it gets that run and gets out and goes bang, it is near a good thing to me. But if it sort of had to circle them, you know, it would find it more difficult to be that strong winning chance. So full blown cupboard job, but we're getting $9 to find out about it, and I think it's worth backing. I can't really find a saver because I think it's quite an even race away from this horse. So it's a $9 bet and put the leather undies on like Big Trev down in Melbourne, lock yourself in the cupboard and hope for the best.
Nicko, now for your runner-by-runner preview of the Maurice McCarten.
Yeah, well, this is like the Galaxy's next week, isn't it? From what I've been looking at, and I would think a few of these would maybe look to back up there. And I thought King's Secret might be the one, but then he's only sort of a 95 or 96 rate of what I was looking at, so maybe he wouldn't get in. I don't know. But he looks like a good horse for my eye. Like I like the way he finds the line in his races, just sort of race through the grades, and I would have thought that would be the target race for him. Trial was okay, like he was just warming up late, which I think is probably a positive for maybe second up. So he was the one I was interested in. I'm just wondering if the grand finals next week.
He's a typical Joe Pride, how he just, like this horse was a dead set Wednesday horse early and didn't look like it was going to get better. I think it's is it a half to Private Eye or is it this one or something? I can't. It's well related to one of his horses. And you're like, oh, it's never going to get out of its own way. And it just improves. And I don't know how he does it. You know, prep after prep, they sort of just get stronger. And he's done it with so many of these similar type of horses. So, yeah, he does scare the life out of me.
He's off Twitter, but he still watches the show. So a little shout out to Joe. Just in defence, you guys have covered it very well. But given there's so much speed in the race, that's why I sort of was a bit more forgiving of Enriched. And he did have that big gap between runs, and maybe I'm just forgiving him. Maybe he blew out a little bit late, or just sort of half tank late. And it's not something I usually do, but I think he's absolutely flying the horse. So $10, I'm going to keep him winner, but flying for fun. Agree with
Name your stakes. I'll do it. What do you want me to do? If it wins, I'll do whatever you want me to do.
I just bleach your hair.
Why would you want to upset the one thing that everyone abuses me about?
Your power. I want to take away your superpower.
I'm very confident I'm not going to have to do it. I won't even ask for a retaliation because it's an absolute joke. But if that horse wins, I'll eat it. I'll eat it with a spoon. But you come up with something, I'll do it.
Yeah, please, yeah. I'm just sick of bleaching my own. I've got it wrong so many times. I think I've bleached my hair 3 times, and the missus will just geld me if I get it wrong. But
I'm not expecting that to go on the line with this one.
I didn't see a 20-minute Maurice McCarten preview.
Well, we've got nothing else to talk about, mate. That's the only race that's actually interesting.
It's the Group 1. It's the Group 1 Coolmore Classic. So let's get to that. Race 8 at Rosehill, 1,500 metres, fillies and mares. Market, courtesy of Ladbrokes, $4.50 Lazura, Savvy Halley, $15, Ole Dancer, $6.50, Manal, $8.50, Sinso, Sinsalt, Sensei,
Jesus Christ, you're going to get hammered for that. you pronounce it 7 different ways.
So-and-so, someone calls it. Darren Flindell.
I know Tim's writing it, that's all I know.
Spell. Verona Rose, $9, Arctic Glamour, $14, Firestorm, $16, Shoshisha, $20, Silica.
Number 11's named after you.
$23. Melody again at 27. Jenny the Fox, 31. Vivier, 34. And then Yu Wang, $91. I had to pronounce it properly there. Okay, let's look at the replays. Enough of the nonsense. Lazura and so-and-so, Sinso.
I promise you there's a lot more nonsense to come in this race.
Yeah, so here it is. Lazura, everyone piled in evens. She's immoral, wasn't fit, had a trial in between since so-and-so fights back. She was just tubby, Walt.
Somersault. Yeah, and it was a day it was very hard to run on. Sinso, very, very fit horse and just sort of kicked back. But, gee, I didn't think it's not a horse. I still thought she was entitled to win if she was good enough. And I didn't think the trial since was, even though it's just a Waller tick over, it wasn't, a top weight Coolmore Classic $4.50 chance, in my opinion.
All right, next race. Verona Rose, Manal, Arctic Glamour, Firestorm.
Yeah, she had the best run you've ever seen here. God bless her. The wrinkle. Geez, she's produced a few...
all-timers.
Yeah, like literally couldn't go back and pick 1 inch of a hole in him, not even for Peter Moody. And, what do you... But look at the race. Like, honestly, throw a towel over him. Arctic Glamour coming down the outside there.
What a run.
Manar looked like it was cast and sort of fought back. That's the kind of race I see on Saturday again, to be fair. And Verona Rose looks like it's going to get a similar run. Arctic Glamour draws 1. Those horses can definitely run well here, but...
If I didn't have kids and if I didn't play golf and if I could be bothered... I'd start a Twitter account and it'd be called @TrainersDoTheDarndest_Things. And the first little example I'll use here is a horse called Melody again. I think this thing's an absolute rocket. Let's have a look at the replay here. I don't know what's going on. Winona's on it. It's back in the yellow with a light blue cap. And just tell me, John, how this horse has managed to get so bloody close. And then furthermore, what is it doing 1,400 at Newcastle on the week back up into the Coolmore Classic? What on earth is Scott Singleton doing to this horse and with this horse?
Jewellery's is going like a rocket. You think it's home and lows and this horse takes 6 lengths off it. If you go right back with this horse, it's had earmuffs, it's had goddamn every bit of gear. It's just an absolute lunatic with the best ability of any country horse we've seen for quite some time. And then Winona gave it a barrier trial there, I guess you'd call it.
And
you go, okay, well... Again, it sounds like it's the Winona bagging show, and I'm dead set number 1 in her fan club 99% of the time. But you would find a stronger option, and a strain target too, second up. But it can win. It can win if everything goes its way. You wish it was Ramwick for this horse, but it can win.
Yeah, well, it's got within a length of Yorkshire, in over 1,500 metres. Carbon copy in the festival stakes.
It's a weird horse. You put it in an open handicap with 58 at Muswellbrook and find a way to get beat, and then you put it in against the high quality sort of Group 1 potential horses and a race like this, and I can't tell you that it can't win even around here and with Winona on. Like, I'd love to see her win the race, to be honest. I just foresee the horse being set a big task like it was there.
They're the 2 horses that I've sort of got excited to back. Melody again, and they have to ride it stone dead cold, so I need Patton to assist. And then the other horse that they've finally figured out is Arctic Glamour. She just has to be ridden stone cold dead or however she likes to feel. So those 2 are the ones that I backed early, but they're way out of the market.
Yeah, I sort of I just kept watching that replay, and that every horse could half improve. Manal gets the right run again. They're just going to do the same thing. So then I went, well, hang on. And the problem is the betting. The market's found Savvy Halley going straight to the front. If it runs 1,500 metres, it's going to be there. And, maybe she's completely airborne. Whether you think Tempted runs 1,400 or not, there was still definitely good merit in that run. And it's hard to say that form's still not strong. Tempted form. Ole Dancer, everything's gone wrong for it, first and second up. It draws awkwardly. If it drew low, I'd be all over Ole Dancer. I think it's the horse with significant upside that I would put in a similar category to, Tempted, and not She's an Alibi, the same sort of thing, but I think she's a sort of a progressive horse. She's definitely a better horse than we worked at than Apocalyptic and those horses. So they're the fresh blood, whereas the others are all sort of beaten up, and I just wish the market hadn't found them, because that would be where the angle was. But sort of $7-8, you're probably likely to get her out Ole Dancer. I think that's fair. And, Savvy Halley, I wish it was about the $7 or $8 chance. So I'd have something small on those two and just hope that the 3-year-old form's better than the older beaten up mares, because they just look like take turns horses. And I want to bet around Lazura, even though it's got J-Mac and the Grand Final King training it. It's I hope Nicko's got more idea about this race than me.
Nicko.
No, not really. I just went with the fresh blood. I thought the 3-year-olds look pretty good here. Like, you got Savvy Halley, like you said, she probably finds the lead, can she run 1,500? We'll find out. Probably got the right scenario to do it. And then Ole Dancer, sort of the way the preps worked out, it seemed like this is the target. Like, I know second up, she was probably left a little bit wanting there late sectionally, and I think this race just probably sets up well for her from a preparation point of view. You'd probably just love her to draw a gate. So don't know if I'll be too involved, but they would be the two I'd be proper having a look at. They just look like they're going places, rather than a few of these that this is definitely their level, if not a bit above it.
I don't want to tune our mate Moody up and tell him that Zach's a bit of a hit or miss from the wide draws, but he is. But he's a sort of, he's actually drawn directly sort of inside Savvy Halley, well, one gate difference. So if you could easily see this horse slotting straight across somewhere behind them or nearly outside leader again. And I don't think they're going to go too hard. 1,500 at Rosehill, that might be fine, like with those two runs under the belt. So if the 3-year-old's controlled from those draws, even you see Verona, it didn't even look like it was travelling when it won the other day, did it? Like, it was one of those, we were on it, and you're like, breathe out, when it wins, because even with 100 to go, it didn't look like it was doing a lot and won. So maybe I'm talking myself into the 3-year-olds, especially Ole Dancer.
Yeah, my query with a couple of these, and I guess why I'm hunting wide, is just the Manals, the Savvy Haleys of the world. A couple of these I just think are chinky or right on their outer limit at 1,500. And my notes about Lazura, I know she went okay in a couple of 1,600 metre races, but I think she's 1,500 metres at an inch. So I just wanted to attack the short end of the market, and horses that I know can run out a strong 1,500 are the filthy back markers, which is Firestorm and Arctic Glamour. What was the other one that I mentioned earlier? I've lost the plot. Melody again.
Yeah, if it was Ramwick, they'd be coming exactly.
And just the way, they've all just smashed the line, and maybe just up and inside along the fence isn't the cup of tea that Firestorm likes to drink. So if the pattern
Arctic Glamour was the one you sort of talked about. It's gate one. Yeah, it's got a bit of flying for fun about it.
So, yeah, I'll die in the quaddie with those three roughies and hopefully get the favourites kabootzed. Quick look at the Gold Coast from me. Race 6 is the first one. It's the Aquas Cutest Jewel 2-year-old, and Final Crusade's the favourite here, $4.20. Got beaten as a pretty short favourite first up. Had a lot to learn. Better Blitzen, $4.60. Esperanza, $5. Another Champers won the Rocky Qualifier at $5. And then you got Brave Etoile at $9.50, Eddington $19, Swift Dragon $21, the Autumn Affair $21. And the horse that I like here, or the horses that I like here, the horse in the pink, just coming to the widest here, which is Brave Etoile, and it got necked at the start, had a weaving run, and the horse inside it is from the Rex Lip yard, which is Esperanza, and then Cherry Bombshell's the winner, and it's put, I think, 2 or 3 wins in a row together. And I think these horses just were set too big a task, so they were both well out the back, and I blackbooked both of them thinking they're going to be ultra hard to beat. There was just 0 in 10, and there was a good gap to third there. So I thought Brave Etoile, $10 was huge, and the only really negative there, I thought I thought Duplessis did his best to sort of completely carve the horse up, and I thought Matty Sears might have a different rider in mind, or they would have been a bit dirty on that, or maybe it's part of the big plan. So he's kept the ride, and I thought it'd be half the price or equal to the price as Esperanza, which it's opened up sort of $5 as well. So I'm just happy to back in that form line, and I don't know about Final Crusade. I just didn't. I just don't think he's a complete package. Looks like a bit of a thinker. I think Barrier 1's going to help him, and maybe he lacked fitness on that occasion, but he just didn't do enough through the line at 420 for me to sort of get involved. And I was really concerned with another Champers up at Rockhampton. It's got Barrier 14 here, and there was a horse that sort of went after him and sort of chased him, and you thought, oh, this horse is going to chuck it in here. And once you see the replay of that, it sows enough doubt in my mind that Barrier 14 at the Gold Coast, 1,200 metres, this level, just don't want to be diving in the 550. And I just sort of like that other proven form line of race 6 for mine. But Brave Atoll is the one that I grabbed the keys, and as soon as they put the price up, I just had to bet. So I've launched on this one, and you will hear me. So wind your window down if you're anywhere near the Gold Coast if Brave Atoll wins with Mark Duplessis, because we've got a big history, me and Mark.
I hate you for making me look at this race. I spent my greatest hate in life is 1,000 to 1,200. So that's where I'll poke. I think Esperanza is definitely the horse better suited, bigger, stronger type to the 1,000 to 1,200. It was 11 back to 1,000 up to 1,200 too, whereas yours is 1,000 to 12. It was entitled to be vulnerable late there, but I worry that it'll be vulnerable again late naturally, 1,000 to 12. So that was my issue there. And I thought Final Crusade is just going to get the best run you've ever seen, and it's 1,000 to 12 as well. But gets Ryan Maloney gate 1 and around the Gold Coast. So I thought they were I sort of kept coming back there and worried that Esperanza was going to be out back wide, and even this Eddington sort of they all come out of terrible races, but
shocking.
Eddington led over 1,200, walked, which is bad, but at least it was 1,200 on debut, so maybe it could improve. But yeah, I kind of defaulted Final Crusade just because it's going to get the suck run, but might be 3 or 4 in front of those, and they've got to come get it.
After watching that sort of the final 200 of Final Crusade,
it sat outside leader though. That's the only. It sat outside leader and kicked away and did look the winner, and then just completely either didn't know how to put a race away or got tired, one of the two. So gate, sucking up behind him this time, it could improve.
Mate, you'd squirt up 200 faster if DK was on your back.
That's why it did look like it was completely lost or gone late. But it's still $4.20 in this race. That's the level of this race.
Well, exactly. That's why I'm going for the DF with the other horse that had the picket fence. So, yeah, if Tony Gollan can turn that horse around Final Crusade to win, I'm saying he's probably the greatest trainer Queensland's ever seen. It'll be just a monumental performance. Nicko, have you given this race a minute of your precious time?
No minutes at all, and I don't think you'll get any either. So next race for me.
If he had said yes, then I would have fallen off the chair.
I could have retaliated with some of the John's snickering here with a runner-by-runner preview, but we don't have an hour and a half for the show. Gold Coast Race 7's the next one. It's the Lucky Clover Thoroughbreds. It's the Gold Jewel Open Handicap. It's a 1,400-metre event, and John Rambo, they put him up favourite every weekend, I reckon. Little bookie's friend he's becoming. $3.40 favourite, and Nemacore, my favourite horse, $5.50. Heatchote, $6. Battlefield, $7. You got Redford, $8.50. Chief in Charge, $11. Pocketful, $15. And you got Mississippi Prince first up as Dangerous, $23. You got Cicada, $23. And then much better the rest. And then Sea King is the interesting runner for Matt Dunn there first up. Horse I like, and I'm just going to keep backing him. They put up $5.50 is a Nemacore. I thought this was a huge run and a big win at the Sunshine Coast Cup over 1,400 metres. It's a listed race. The handicappers are sort of giving it away here. They're saying he has to carry 59 kilos because this field is so poor. And my biggest concern with the dangers is that horses like Heatchote and Battlefield, I think 1,200 is more their pet trip. So I think it's just going to set up really well for this horse to settle midfield. I thought the biggest danger was a horse like Redford Barrier 4 at sort of $8.50, but I think he's a backable price again. I think it was like $6 into $4.20 or even $3.80. There was an avalanche for an Emmacall last time, and he'll just get run of the race. Whereas Heatchote and the other one, Battlefield, they were great last start. I think Battlefield was sort of half torched by Jace McMurray, sort of went widest, and then Heatchote was a better ride back up the inside. Back end of 1400, I just don't think they've got the strength of this horse in Emencore. Mississippi Prince is dangerous, can go forward, but first up against these horses that are rock hard fit. And Redford's got a run in him, but not sure where they're going to be targeting Sea King, but I guess he's a stayer for later. Funny little race this, but I just have to believe that this is the best 1400 metre horse in the race, and I just can't find a negative. Like Chief in Charge is going through the grades, and then just John Rambo, $3.80 with CJ on. God, it has to just be rock bottom odds. Like, good luck to the Mr. Racing guys. They've been knocking the door down. I know the horse goes super well. Edge off the track. He loves the Gold Coast circuit, barrier 5. You just starting to go broke back in John Rambo.
Yeah, too hard for me, this one. 7 weeks between runs was the only worry I saw between Amenacor. Went back and looked and seen it. It has performed okay off similar. It sort of does seem to run a month or so between runs at best, so fresh is okay for this horse. But that was it. Yeah, probably you got to make sure you can run on. That's the only other issue. But yeah, I couldn't find anything to beat it.
We backed this horse about a year ago in the 1400 first up, I think, Walt, and then they took him to 2,000, 1,600 metres, and then since then, and I think I've said on this show nearly every start, 1,350, 1,400, 1,300, 1,400. He's just a beast and a weapon at this distance.
Cafe Millennium.
He's just like they've finally
I did
found
laugh
the
the other day. Cafe Millennium, after I think she got asked a lot of questions about it. She came back and said, "Oh, I think it needs further."
No,
I nearly died. I nearly died when I read it. I'm like, they finally worked out. It's absolutely killing it at 1,400. Same as this horse. Needs further.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's a strange game.
Sort of like that. I was talking to someone about Yellow Brick, and like Yellow Brick's a sprinter.
Too. Yeah, 100%. 12, 13, 1,400 metre horse max.
Yeah. Not that we've ever ridden racehorses, Peter Moody, but we try and figure it out.
Yeah, sometimes having a outside looking in helps just to create the obvious.
Nicko, we won't make it out alive. we have to stay off track and away from the sales.
I've been in this world for 20 years. You guys are just sort of, you dip your toe in and run away and then try and bomb me in there, and Nicko's he can't because he's there. He's one of them.
Yeah, I'm in the thick of it, but yeah, it's sometimes, like Walt said, sometimes you do need an outsider looking in. We could use that with a few of our horses. We're absolutely cast, so we need a bit of help there, maybe.
How does your old man respond to the form analyst feedback and criticism?
Well, when his two sons are buddy, that's what they do.
he's all right. He never listens, but he won't sort of take the advice on board. But I suppose he will listen and hear it out. But it never really eventuates to go anywhere more often than not.
I watched a couple of races yesterday at the sales with one trainer and then another trainer, and it was interesting. Like, just because I can't help myself during the run, you're like, oh, what's this play? What's that? Oh, they're going slightly. You're just sort of trying to predict what's that. And it was good to do. It was good to do because they sort of ask you when then you got on to talking about some of their horse and whatever. It was healthy conversation. You know, you didn't agree on everything, but it was good to have it.
They drive the great game, the opinions.
They do. They do. And they just like, they don't look at races because they're usually looking at their own horse 99% of the time. You know, what happens here, a bit like the Randwick Guineas. Things that happen sort of knock on and okay, it worked out, but that's still not the way we look at the race. You know, it worked out for you in this case, but 9 times out of 10 it's not, or whatever. You know, it's just we look at races differently. You know, we're just trying to extract the value out of it, basically, whereas they're trying to
prize money.
Yeah, or whatever. They're happy with outcomes we're not happy with because it worked out. But what we're trying to do is say, well, but next start, it probably won't. So you want to adjust, and they're just like, oh no, it worked out there. It'll probably work. It's it's different, but it's good. It's good to have the conversation. I enjoy it.
Good stuff. I might wrap the show up there. Little Birdie TV tips page. Check that out. Check out racingwatch.com.au if you want to go as mad as John. And then Nicko's Yard on Saturday is going to be amongst the VOBIS action at the Heath. So it'll be great racing there. And as the days get trickier, that's when you need to lean on these guys for more information. And then I'll be just going hammer and tong in the Ladbrokes Mates Mode pot, trying to pull their pants down. So we got them last week with plenty of winners. So if you don't believe us after last week, you never will. Have a great week. We'll be back here next Thursday for more madness, and hopefully, a few more trainers tee off on us again. So we've got more things to talk about. Bring it on. We'll see you next week.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.